Good evening, friends. Now we are discussing WAM, Vogel's approximation method of solving transportation problem in module number 3 of the subject operation research. So the same problem of shipment of mobile phones what we have seen using the other method. So here we have three sources of supplying the mobile phones: Jaipur, Udaipur and Mumbai. So these manufacturers are supplying to the warehouses or the showrooms in the destinations like Kanpur, Pune and Delhi. So the cost of shipment is shown in the matrix in rupees. Here we are using WAM method. So the same problem was taken as the example using northwest corner method to find the basic feasible solution. Now the same problem we are using here to get the solution using Vogel's approximation method. So first we have to check whether the given problem is balanced one or not. Checking the condition, summation of supply is equal to supply of demand. So if this is true, we'll consider the problem as balanced one. If summation of supply is not equal to summation of demand, it is unbalanced transportation problem. Now the given problem is balanced one. Now we have to find out penalties row wise and column wise. So by taking the row difference and column difference. So we'll see how to find the row difference and column difference. In each row and each column, take the first lowermost element and the next lower element, the next most smaller element and subtract each other. So the first lowermost is 1, the next lowermost is 4. So the difference between them is the penalty. So 4 minus 1, so that is 3 here. Then we have 3 minus 3, 0. We have 2 and 6, so the difference is 4. Now column difference. So the first smallest elements are 4 and 3. So the difference is written as penalty. 4 minus 3, 1. Then 4 minus 2 in the second column. So that is 2. In the third column, it is 3 minus 1. So that is 2. So these are the penalties. So by finding the difference in each row and column, we are finding the opportunity cost. So if the value of difference is larger, means higher will be the penalty. So instead of allocating to the smallest cost, if we allocate to the next second smallest cost, so that will be considered as the penalty. So this difference what we are finding here will be taken as the penalty for wrong allocation. Instead of allocating to 1 here in this particular row, if we allocate to the next smallest cost, so that is 4. So we are spending 3 rupees additionally extra. So that will be the penalty. Similarly, column wise. So instead of allocating to the lowermost cost, so that is 3, if we assign to the next lowermost, so that is 4. So we are bearing unnecessarily the additional expense of 4 minus 3, 1. So that is the penalty. So column difference. Now consider all the penalties here, that is 3, 0, 4, 1, 2 and 2. So take the highermost penalty. Maybe it is present in any one of the 3 rows or any one of the 3 columns. So the highest penalty is 4 here. So that is present in the third row, that is Mumbai. So select this third row, search for the lowest cost. So the lowest cost is 2 in the third row. So we have to allocate to this. So the corresponding supply is 70, demand is 40. Out of this 70 and 40, we are going to assign the smaller one, that is 40. So the requirement is 40. All the 40 units are allocated. So the demand of this destination Pune is fulfilled. So demand becomes 0. So get rid of this destination Pune. Now out of 70 units available with Mumbai, 40 units are allocated. Now 70 minus 40. So 30 units are left with Mumbai. So now summation of demand is 70 plus 60, 130 plus 0, 130. So 40 plus 60 plus 30, it is also 130. So like this, every time the table gets reduced. So for each iteration, find out the penalty by taking the first lowest cost and the next lowest cost and find out the penalty, that is the row difference and the column difference. So among all the penalties available here in this particular iteration, 1, 2, 2, 0 and 3. So take the higher one penalty here. So 3 is the maximum penalty. So take that particular row, that is Jaipur. So take the lowermost cost here. So out of 4 and 1 is lowermost cost. So allocate to it. So the corresponding supply and demand. So take the lower of this demand and supply, allocate to it. So like this, we keep on reducing the table until all the assignments are made. So after all the allocations are done, so write the allocations in the matrix and find the transportation cost. So the total transportation cost comes to rupees 480 using these allocations, like 1 into 40 plus 3 into 40 plus 3 into 20 plus 6 into 30 plus 2 into 40. So by following different methods, the transportation cost obtained may be similar or maybe there is small difference in the transportation cost. So it need not be the same. The transportation cost need not be the same for the same problem using different methods.